about meeting Kobe's parents?
I mean, it'll be first time meeting my in-laws.
I mean, you just have to be yourself, but, less of American woman.
What up, party people? I am Erika, and today we're talking a 90-Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, Season 8, Episode 1. Let's get into it, people.
I want a happy ending and tired of pretending. Let them get the best of me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Give me a break. The game is survival. Give me a break and plan my arrival.
What's up, you guys? I'm Erika. Welcome to my channel. Today we will be reviewing, recapping, and or ranting about 90-Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. I'm running behind, but I wanted to get it out to you before the second episode hits later today. So after this, I will be on schedule and I will get tonight's episode out, my review out like tomorrow. All right, you guys. So that was Emily and Kobe. Let me get them up on the screen. These folks right here. Ooh, this puff is doing the most right now. All right, you guys. If you don't recall, Emily and Kobe, they met in China. He's from Cameroon. She's like, I want to say back of the woods, Kansas. They moved here and excuse me, they met in China. He was like an underwear model. Basically, she was getting her party and travel on. They hooked up, she got pregnant, and they got married. He moved to Kansas he moved here to be, for 90-Day Fiance, obviously. And then after the marriage, no. I don't know if it was COVID or whatever happened, but she had the baby before he got over here. And so, because he was supposed to be over here, and for some reason he couldn't make the birth, and that was a thing. And then, so fast forward, and if you all don't recall, he moved in with them. She's like super duper bossy. Her parents seem like really nice, but they have raised her to be like totally entitled, totally, I don't know. To me, she comes off as spoiled a little bit sometimes. Let me know what you all think. But basically, she got pregnant again and had a little girl. So now here we are, happily ever after, 2 years later, and they're finally going back to Cameroon. So let's take a look at it.
But I am an American woman.
Of course. Well, I'm just saying, for the good of our family, just go easy, chill, stay chill.
I'm really concerned that my family might, hold some grudges towards Emily because it's not very common in Cameroon for a guy to just leave and get married to an American woman.
Relax. Just be.
So, primarily in this episode, the only thing that really happens with them is they're going to Cameroon, and it's sort of this whole, because she's American, because she's outspoken, will she fit in? And my question for all of you, and let me know in the comments, is I know they have a different their morals, they might have similar morals, but it's a different culture, right? And so I'm well aware of that. However, he is over here married to her with 2 kids living in her parents' basement. Now she's a stay-at-home mom, and I would also say, girl, you a stay-at-home daughter. But needless to say, they both are living off of this off of her parents. So to me, I get what your culture says in terms of how women should be treated, but also that's when the man is fully supporting. So I'm curious. I mean, maybe you all don't want to know. I'm slightly curious. Who's paying? Is TLC paying for this trip to Cameroon? They load up. We see them packing, getting ready. They're taking 2 cars because they have to drive to Kansas City, I guess, to catch their first flight. Who's paying a car note on their car? You know what I'm saying? Like, she basically has brought him over here, and they are living in her parents' sort of suburban whatever lifestyle. And even though he is working, so shout out for that, but they're still kind of living off of her parents. Here we go 2 years later. Ain't gonna rush nobody, but I'm just saying that your family in Cameroon needs to take into account that, you know, you might be the man and the head of the household, and you might be royalty, as you like to put it, but you still lived off of her parents. All right. That's pretty much them in a nutshell. So let me know your thoughts on those. And that's Kobe and Emily. I keep forgetting I have my thing on this side. Okay. So let's take a look at okay. So I will just tell you all right now, there's a couple couples that this is how I feel about them. I don't give a fuck. So let's move on to another I don't give a fuck couple here. And that would be Gino and Jasmine. Let's see, where's their overlay? Okay, so Jasmine and Gino are back. Jasmine and Gino are back this season. They're married. I feel like we've been watching Jasmine and Gino for so many years now. And they're a couple where clearly Jasmine is gorgeous and far outside of Gino's league. She's very jealous. She's the hothead Latina Colombian. And so in this episode, we really see Jasmine has her eye on the prize. So she talks a lot in this episode about one, getting pregnant. I'm not there with I'm right there with you, Jasmine. Once you get the bag, you have to make sure that it's secure. So ain't nothing more secure than a paycheck baby. So go ahead, girl. Two, she wants to get her kids over here. So to me, it's like, okay, she putting in work to get nice boobs, nice booty, and a better life for her children. So basically, you know, the only thing we do find out in this episode, she says, I believe in a confessional, that she has another secret. And no, it's not another surgery that she spent $20,000 on or that her boyfriend paid for. But come to find out that even though she's telling Gino, ooh, let's practice. Let's practice. Did you bring your blue pills? Turns out that she actually has issues getting pregnant. So I'm guessing that's going to be their storyline this season. I don't know. I'm kind of over these two, but maybe they'll surprise me and become interesting. But that's sort of what's going on with Jasmine and Gino. And she's trying to get him to buy a new house because she doesn't like the fact that he lived there with his ex-wife. And I'm like, just redecorate the house that you have and get your kids over here. Because once your kids are over here and y'all all citizens, you free to do what you want to do. But that being said, you know, I guess we'll see when Gino will find out about her pregnancy issue secrets and if he'll even really care. So we'll see. All right, let's move on to another couple that I don't give a fuck about. Rob and Sophie. So Sophie's from England. Rob is from I don't know where he's from. When I was watching the last season he was on, which I did not finish because honestly I got bored. But I think Rob was living in LA. He brought her, she got here. They were in this apartment where like there was no bathroom in the apartment. And I lived in LA. I didn't even know that was a thing. But apparently so. And then we find out that Sophie is also bisexual, although she's never acted on it. So you guys have to catch me up if there were any other key facts in last season, because I couldn't finish it. But I'm gonna stick this one out with you guys. I promise. I promise. So I kind of thought that they both are like, they both look good, they're both attractive, young, cute, and just want to party. I don't know. I think they really like each other. I just never, I don't know. They give me the fakies. You know what I'm saying? There's something about this couple that does not seem real to me. But be that as it may, they left LA and they moved to Austin, which is great. I'm sure. I'm thinking that now that they're in Austin, um, now that she's in Austin, maybe 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 they have a bathroom in their apartment. That's what I'm saying. So, but I guess she goes through his phone, and I don't know if it's text messages or DMs. I think it's DMs on Instagram or whatever, Facebook or X or whatever social media platform. He has social media issues. He was cheating before. Maybe the people are sending him naked pictures and he's responding. I don't know. But she turns out she found a few more of these. She got upset and she moved out. So she moved in with her best friend, Kay. And this is how we start this scene out with them. So I don't know if that's a friend with benefit situation, because that's very much what it's giving. But she's with Kay, and then we see Rob playing baseball or basically, I think he was at a batting cage or whatever, and talking with one of his friends, telling him that, well, she's bisexual and she moved in with a girl. And his friend is looking like houseway. How do you not think this is a problem? So there's that. Let's see. Let's move on to the next one. All right. So here is Sophie and her mother and her mother's new boyfriend, John. Okay. Now, John don't even look like he really fully know her mother's name or whatever. He's very much giving he's very much giving I don't know your mama. But it's good to meet you too, Sophie. So this seems like a very let's try a different one. This seems like a very new relationship between the mother and her boyfriend. The mother now lives in Mexico. And so here's the thing. Rob always likes to, or the way TLC has presented them is like Sophie grew up so rich, but then, in this episode, we find out her mother had a drug problem, a substance abuse problem. She had to take care of her mother more than her mother had to take care of her. And I know this is a side note, but why do they both have bad wigs? I'm not sure what that's about. Like, I don't know how wealthy people and bad wigs to me don't go together, but I'm just saying that. And so, she tells her mom here that now she didn't tell this to Kay. She and Kay were laid up in the bed talking about, the issues that Rob had, but she tells her mother and her mother's boyfriend that she's going to meet up with Rob and try to give him another chance because there's something really good about him. And I would say mostly that would be his looks and his body, but she says he's a really good person. So, and her mother's like, no, he's Rob the knob, Rob the knob, Rob the knob. She doesn't like him, but you can tell based on John that, her mother's taste in men might be questionable at best. So then we go to Rob decides to meet Sophie at a selfie store or someplace, a place where you go where the whole place is set up for you to take selfies. And to me, that just indicative kind of a sign of their whole relationship. But he tries to halfway apologize, but his whole thing is like, look, it was in the DMs. It's not like I actually slept with nobody. And that's not the best apology in the world. And they're getting along at first. She basically storms out again. yeah, a relationship or a marriage is broken up over DMs. Not that you can't have internet cheating per se, but if that's enough to break up your relationship, girl, then move on to K. Okay. Maybe that's how this season will end, but I again am not feeling these two for sure. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's move on from them to Mahmoud and Nicole. So in this episode, nothing really too much goes on with them. We see Nicole is getting ready. Mahmoud is coming to America. Excuse me. Every time I get on camera, I get the sniffles. Excuse me. All right, Mahmoud is coming to America. He is like totally miserable. I mean, Nicole is the love of his life. Let him tell it. But he sorry you guys. Nicole is the love of his life. He doesn't want to be without her, but obviously he does not want to. He totally misses his family. I actually do think this couple is very entertaining. Now her hair is like, I think her hair is red now. And she's getting ready for him and she's getting dressed for the airport. And that's the thing. Like even though he's coming to America, she knows how important his culture is. So we see her maybe the day before. Why can't you wear pants to the airport? Why you gotta wear a skirt and have your stomach out and all this stuff? When the day before you were totally covered. Like, couldn't you have worn that to the airport? So to me, I think she has a tendency to do these things. Not that she deserves anything, but she has a tendency to do these things that is going to anger, is going to incite some sort of blowout with him, even from the beginning. That being said, I believe, as we all know, in real time, Mahmoud was recently arrested for domestic violence. So it'll be interesting. So part of the reason why I'm even doing this, reviewing this show is because of Mahmoud and Angela and Michael. I want to see how the drama first unfolds. So, basically we see Mahmoud crying with his mother. He's going to miss his mother because he's been there taking care of his mother. He's going to miss his uncles and his cousins and everything in Egypt to come to LA, which is going to be a shocker for Nicole. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's move on to our last and final couple. Yeah, this episode was kind of not giving as much, but I'm gonna stick with it, y'all. I'm sticking with it, people. All right, so let's talk Ashley and Manuel. They got married in the last season. He's from is he from Venezuela? I know his kids are in Ecuador. And I actually like Ashley. One thing I really like about Ashley is that she is one of the people who has married someone from another country who speaks another language, and she at least can communicate to him in Spanish. So I love that and I respect that for sure. So let's do. I have this video of them.
We've known each other for 10 years, and I've never met Manuel's children in person.
Yeah, let's go all the way back to the beginning.
But we've known each other for 10 years, and I've never met Manuel's children in person, and I've barely spoken to them over the phone. Manuel talks to them really often without including me. I don't really know why that's happening. Why is it that we've been married almost a year, and I feel like he's hiding me from his kids?
Because he is.
So you made him a part of your life, and he made you a part of his life. But it's clear he doesn't fully trust me with everything. What if there's some stuff we don't know? I've thought about that. Should I get a private detective? Because let me tell you something. If you got 2 kids, why are you hiding them? What if it's more than 2 kids?
I think we're spiraling a little bit. You gotta calm down.
All right. So I agree with the mama. Get the private detective, hire the private detective, find out what's going on. I think if he had more than 2 kids, if he had more children, I think he would just tell her. I don't know if that's such a huge thing to lie about, but either he was already married. I definitely feel like even though they've known each other for like 7 years or a long amount of time, um, he always gives me, I don't know, citizenship scam vibes to me. But I think he does like her. I think they have a good time together or whatever. But he's kind of like, all right, she's speaking Spanish. We cool. I'm having fun. And I'll be a US citizen. I can bring my kids over. Everybody's winning. So I don't know. So hopefully next week we still have the couples. These are the other couples that are on this season. Tyus and Patrick. And I think she's from Colombia. We'll see. This should be kind of interesting. I'm 50-50 on them. I know they have a new baby, and I know his brother is kind of like a jerk, but they might be interesting. The other couple we have coming this season that we did not see in this first episode is Alexi and Lauren. I was just starting to watch 90 Day Fiance. I know they have 3 kids. I feel like they're going to be the kind of halfway cool couple, or happy couple, basically with no issues. So we'll see how that goes. Then the other couple we have is that we didn't see tonight was Liz and Big Ed. Another I don't give a F couple for me because I'm not a Big Ed fan. We not gonna do no neck over here too much. I'll say that right now. And then hopefully, because people have been rumored that they aren't going to be on the show, but hopefully we will see Angela and Michael sometime soon because Angela is crazy and Michael has earned his right to be a US citizen. And so we will talk about all of that. All right, you guys, please subscribe if you can. Please like this video, comment below. I want to know what you all felt about this episode. For me, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it like a 3.5. I didn't find it really that entertaining, but we did get a refresher on some of these couples. There are other couples, I think, whatever. They could have chose other folks, but this is what we got. This is what we're working with. We're going to make it work, people. All right, you guys, like, comment, subscribe. I will be coming back later today with my Sister Wives review or Seeking Sister Wives review. But ciao for now, folks. Don't forget to comment below. That's my time. Be true, be you, be great. See you in the next video, people. Bye.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.